Are you here, Natalie? Where's Natalie? Will you come up here, please?
We can't talk about winning back the House and Senate in 2022 and the White House in 2024 if we don't act on the fact that we actually did win the White House and the Senate in 2020. We shouldn't be afraid to say that.
The follow-up there from the senator should have been an apology, because I agree, it was below the belt. The reason for the freakout,
You work for Donald Trump. You work for Donald Trump. How dare you say anything is below the belt when you work for Donald Trump in the White House?
Got him. We fucking got him.
Seems that someone struck one hell of a nerve. That's right, enablers of the thrice married president found liable of sexual assault are clutching their pearls over a comment made by Senator Jon Ossoff during a speech in Atlanta, where he accused the president of spending more time golfing, enriching himself, and obsessing over personal luxuries than actually doing the job of president, stating, quote, he wants to build his ballroom and travel with Natalie on their apparently defenseless flying palace.
Aboard the USS Abraham Lincoln, they've now been at sea for 240 plus days without a port call. It's a Navy record. And still they serve with excellence. But they deserve competent leaders who send them into combat only when necessary, and with decisive clarity of purpose, not fools who lie about the purpose and progress of war. See, he doesn't want to do the job. He wants to build his ballroom and travel with Natalie on their apparently defenseless flying palace gifted by the Emir of Qatar.
Judging by what happened over the next, 48 hours, Ossoff hit one hell of a nerve. I mean, you have professional MAGA grifters across the board in a unified response of sheer outrage. You have Scott Jennings crying on X how this undermines women in politics. That's right, he's rushing to the defense of a man whose list of insults directed at women, mostly female reporters, is as long as the Epstein list that he's mentioned in more than anyone else.
The follow-up there from the senator should have been an apology, because I agree, it was below the belt. The reason for the freakout,
You work for Donald Trump. You work for Donald Trump. How dare you say anything is below the belt when you work for Donald Trump in the White House?
The reason for the freakout by the Trump administration is because it was below the belt. Staff was
What about all the things Donald Trump goes below the belt?
John Ossoff ran for office. Donald Trump ran for office. Criticized them, put a spotlight on them, talk about them.
He just
she's a government
first name.
She is a government staffer.
And then there's the White House account that has just gone off the rails after CNN senior White House correspondent Kristen Holmes asked Trump about Ossoff's comments involving Natalie Harp.
Jon Ossoff said you'd rather travel with your aide, Natalie Harp, and build the ballroom than do your job as president. What is your response, Jon Ossoff?
You mean Pee Wee Herman? Pee Wee Herman lookalike? No, I would much rather do other things. We're building a great facility here. We're fixing a White House that hasn't been taken care of.
Yeah, that is what merited this response. You have the White House rapid response account calling Holmes a, quote, disgraceful, humiliating embarrassment to her alleged profession. The White House told her, quote, someday your children will come across your disgusting and inhumane question, and continued, they will be sickened and embarrassed. That's right. The official White House communications operation are invoking a journalist's children because she dared ask Donald Trump about something a sitting United States senator had said during public remarks. And listen, these are the people running cover for a man who says quiet piggy to female reporters and calls other women in her profession stupid on the daily. It's astonishing that they think they've just gone all Will Smith and pressed a button and we've forgotten everything Trump said about women.
You wouldn't have your job if you weren't beautiful. It's very sad.
It must be a pretty picture you dropped into.
And I'd look her right in that fat, ugly face.
She's gotten a little bit large. I don't think you should dress like you weigh 120 pounds. I don't want to sound too much like a chauvinist, but when I come home and dinner's not ready, I go through the roof.
A person who's flat-chested is very hard to be a 10.
She ate like a pig.
You could see there was blood coming out of her eyes, blood coming out of her wherever.
The boob job is terrible. You know, they look like two light posts coming out of a body.
Is unattractive both inside and out. I fully understand why her former husband left her for a man.
Maybe she should feel that way.
I have been better to women than any of these candidates, frankly.
And by the way, it's not like she's pulling this from thin air. There has been extensive reporting recently about the unusual closeness between Trump and his executive assistant. Harp has become one of Trump's most constant aides, who frequently travels with him, as well as assisting with his Truth Social posts, which I asked on Twitter, if she's the one writing his posts for him, why isn't she correcting the grammar and spelling? The New York Times previously reported that Harp wrote unusually devotional letters to Trump. One reportedly said, quote, "You're all that matters to me." The Times also reported that Trump would call her sweetie and treats her somewhat like a daughter.
You mentioned Natalie Harp, the printer. I do have to ask about this. You also have in the book that she leaves little MASH notes for Trump around. I was kind of the view that Trump is probably impotent now because he just doesn't talk about sex as much as he used to. But I don't know. It was eyebrow raising, the love notes that you included that.
What we found in our reporting for the book is we got these letters that she had been leaving in his private spaces, and they were very raw. They were very emotional. In one, she said, "You are all that matters to me." But these notes that she was leaving alarmed the Secret Service, who were concerned about it, who raised issues about it at the time. Trump has been open with people that, she's the person who loves him on staff as much as his, wife and children. And he'll say things like, the rest of you will go off and make money. She will never leave me. So, without commenting on your first lead in there, she is. You
don't have any reporting on the impotence.
She is very, very focused on him and on being in his world.
But we learned something even more politically significant last week when a reported missile threat forced Trump to secretly switch aircraft while leaving Turkey. Natalie Harp was among the handful of people moved with him, which just gave people online endless ammunition to use, because you consider the fact that senior administration officials, including Marco Rubio, Scott Bessent, and Stephen Miller, all remained aboard the decoy Air Force One without initially knowing Trump had left.
Private person. She does work for the government.
A lot of people work for the government.
What about Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss? They're private people. Donald Trump attacked those election workers in Fulton County. They had no business being involved in this scandal. But Donald Trump brought them up.
Talk about 2020?
I want to talk about the fact that Donald Trump repeatedly for 30 years, and definitely for the past 10 years, has attacked every single person. You worked for him in the White House while he attacked people with attacks that are far lower than what John Ossoff said. All he did was mention one person's name. And so for you to come here and have this fake outrage about John
Ossoff is better than this.
You are better than this, I assume, because you have no credibility.
No, my point also is why?
So yeah, questions are going to be asked, yet the White House behaves as though merely mentioning her name is some grotesque violation. The very people that love attacking Democrats while putting Katy Perry songs to videos of ICE physically assaulting people are suddenly outraged at the decorum of journalists and a senator? Give me a break, man. That's why the New York Magazine's headline holds weight here. They said, quote, "Ossoff gets under Trump's skin with Natalie Harp" comment. I mean, it's just an observable fact. Whatever the underlying relationship is, the subject makes this White House absolutely furious, it seems. And Ossoff appears to understand that and is running with it.
Lots of people have questions about it. Why'd you decide to invoke Natalie Harp specifically in that speech?
Well, Jen, thank you for having me. And here's the point. We're in wartime. The commander-in-chief has mired us in this geopolitical disaster. People have lost their lives. Our naval logistics are frayed. The global energy system is in crisis. And he retreats into this bubble of West Wing aides who are his security blanket
to make him feel good about himself, to reassure him that he's doing a great job, to help him while he designs his new ballroom and he adorns the Oval Office in gold and picks the interior decorations on this new luxury flying palace he received from a foreign prince. When every single minute of every single day, what the President of the United States should be doing is bearing his most solemn burden of care for the sailors and Marines and aviators and all service members deployed on his orders on the basis of his lies to this disaster in the Middle East. And just like the West Wing is full of sycophants who tell him what he wants to hear and enable him, so is the United States Congress, Republicans in the House and Senate who still lack the spine to tell this president what he doesn't want to hear. And one of those is Congressman Mike Collins here in Georgia, the pro-war, pro-tariff, pro-cutting your health care, bigot Congressman Trump puppet who wants a 6-year term in the United States Senate. And I know folks are watching this race. If you think that this race is not close, you don't understand the state of Georgia. This is going to be a fight to the finish, right down to the wire. And if you are sick of the gross misrule of this incompetent and failed commander-in-chief, and you want to make sure we have checks and balances in the Senate next year, this is something you can do right now. Grab your phone, grab your laptop, go to electjon.com, chip in $10 to make sure we defeat Mike Collins and win this race in Georgia.
Want to stay plugged in? Become a subscriber to our Substack at MeidasPlus.com. You'll get daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, ad-free episodes of our podcast, and more exclusive content only available at MeidasPlus.com.